All right, my friends, this is at the beginning of the stream. I've got a timer on my phone. I'm going to let folks get in here for 3 minutes. So if you're watching this as a VOD, you can just skip forward 3 minutes and it'll take you to the start of the stream as we get set up here. So I'm going to just be piddling around. It's weird. My YouTube studio just crashed in my browser, which is interesting. Interesting times. Oh my gosh, I misspelled FM26 in the name of the stream. Let's fix that. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff there. And it makes you wonder, is anybody going to join, or everybody right now is playing the beta? Well, we'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. The beta patch thing, patch, post-launch, beta patch thing. Oh, I've got it set to private. Ha ha, that's so funny. All right, my friends, if you are just now coming in, or you're watching this on a VOD, I'm going to go forward 3 minutes. I'm setting a timer right now to allow people to get in. So if you're watching this on a VOD and you're like, what's going on? It's just me setting up the stream. Give it 3 minutes, and then we will have people in here, and I will officially be live. How about that? How about that? Does that work? That works. So we're on a timer for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. You are just tuning in. I got a timer set for 3 minutes on my phone, so I've let VOD viewers know that that's coming, so that we're not wasting their time in the future as we review this. If you are in the chat, say how do you do. Say how do you do. Let me know if my mic sounds... Oh, last time it was a little soft. All right, we've turned the mic up. Let me know if that's all right in your eardrums. Greg Bros, how you doing, sir? How you doing? Thank you, Steve. Perfect. Was soft better now? Good. Okay. See, I haven't had the chat box. Obviously, it looks kind of messed up here, but we'll move it here in just a second. I thought it had a black background. I don't. We don't do the streaming a lot, my friends. Can we give it a background? I got 1 minute and 13 seconds that I've told the VOD viewers that are watching this in the future that I wasn't going to really be streaming. The first 3 minutes is me just setting up. So here we are, setting things up. Oh, the background color is set to black. Well, why doesn't it look black to me? So that should be white, black, white, black. Do black. That's fine. Save the settings. Now it's not working at all. What have I done with the chat box? We've got 28 seconds to figure out the chat box. It's not what you want to be seeing. It's not it. It's not it. When I go to stream it, add. There's a second chat box in a different spot on my screen. Maybe it's just because no one said anything recently. I have no idea. Hide messages after 15 seconds. Oh, you can increase that. Oh, there's the timer. There's the timer, my friends. I'm gonna save the settings. Somebody say something in chat so I'll see what it looks like on the good old screen here. Maybe I could chat. I didn't think about that. This is a test of the chatting system. Okay. So it just pops up. Interesting. Hey, Jenny? Kim? Something. There you go. Ah, love the literalness of that. All right, my friends, we're going to hop in. They have launched a patch. And it's a rather large patch. I am going to take a screenshot before we get started here of how you can get on the patch if you're not on the patch. Because it is not being pushed out like your regular normal updates. I'm taking a screenshot over here. You have to opt into the patch. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to put this in downloads. How to beta patch. Let's call it that. So if you are curious how to find this yourself, beta patch. Hold on a second. Let me get it up on the screen for you. Essentially, oh dear. I mean, it explains it in the blog post, but in case you don't understand the blog post, which is fine, you're going to go to your Steam library. You're going to right-click Steam. You're going to go to Properties. You're then going to click Betas. And then in this drop-down box here, it's going to be public. You're going to have public beta, public_beta hyphen public_beta. And then you're going to click the X on the box. And then you'll see in your library, the name of Football Manager 26 will completely change. And then it will start a 2.6 gigabyte download. So that's, if you're curious how to do that, this is not like an official update. What that means is they've put so much into this that they're afraid it's going to break other things, and they want us to be part of the testing for that, which I guess is a fair thing to do. I have played around it just a little bit, but I thought let's do this first, and we'll do it live. And if I can actually play the game, because I've got this itch, I want to play the game. I haven't been able to play with Wolfsburg because I'm hesitant to move forward in a series if I don't have, confidence that the patch is going to stick, or that like the game is not going to break or whatever. So this is how you get onto the beta. I'm going to take that off now of your screens. It's a 2.6 gigabyte download, so that's how you get to it. Hey, Jack, JD, Burgreen, and hello, fellow kids, and Michael. Thanks for the folks that said something earlier. If you are enjoying my content in general, it really does help if you like. So let's take a look while we're here, and I'm going to pull up my other window, and there we go. You can see my cursor. Okay, so that's about as big as I can make it on your screens. So we're going to, I don't know if I should read through all of this because it's just a long list of things to look at. But the things I think are important that they've highlighted, and some that they haven't, I will go over. So key highlights include new preferences for adjusting attribute colors. It's not custom attribute colors. There are 4 presets, which is better than nothing. I think in the grand scheme of things, it's like, let's just give them something, and then several months down the road, we can have custom attribute colors, right? A preference to turn off or alter the speed of UI transitions, which I have done, and it does seem faster, like going from portal to squad. Not significantly, but it is faster, as well as a 1.5x match speed option, which I always thought was weird that they gave us a 1.25 and a 1.75, but now we have the one in between, and they're obviously because of your early beta feedback. They are going to be pushing these out, so this is right now on Steam, but it says through platform submissions. I'm not sure who else it would go to, because I don't believe that's going to be Xbox or PlayStation or something like that, because this is on the beta thing in Steam. So I'm not sure what that means. The next update for the beta track is already underway, so they're trying to give us a little bit of word. Obviously, it's not the last thing because it doesn't fix everything. And it's set to introduce a legacy preference to advance through messages with the spacebar. So the spacebar crowd, if that's you, it's not me, but the spacebar crowd, it's not in this patch, but it is coming in a future patch. So take that as you will. So it says it's a non-exhaustive list, which when I just scroll here, it's a long list, and I like how it says substantial crash and stability fixes. Okay. The things that stood out to me when I read through this. Okay, so obviously anything with like text overlap, a little title card polish, whatever, fixes to match freezing at start of the second half in single player career, important, right? So they're gonna talk about the things. If you bought the game and it broke, which there have been lots of reviews of that, and like you can't get past the first half of your first match, they're gonna focus on those types of things first. But then if you're not in that boat, but you're like, this game just frustrates me, or it's not as polished as I want it to be, they've added a preference to turn off or alter the speed of UI transition between screens. So let me show you what that looks like. Give me just a second here. Browser. Ricardo, it is in the beta. Let me just do this because we're going to have people popping in. You have to right-click in your library on Steam, or in FM26. Sorry, in Steam, go to library, right-click on FM26, go to properties, click betas, and then click this box for public_beta, and then it will download a 2.6 gigabyte beta for you, and it renames the game to like FM26 beta. Okay, so they have introduced a preference. If you go here, you go to preferences. I always want this. Let's see. I think it's under audio and visual. First off, here's the player attributes. So again, you can't customize these, but if you're like, I really don't like that the 16 through 20 is green, well, how does yellow suit you? And obviously it's just swapping these two, but then there's also a bright blue, and then there is this one, which I kind of like. I don't know if that's like your brain confuses you and go, is that how it used to be? Or maybe the yellow was here and this was green, maybe. But I'm gonna leave it on this one because I like the 1 to 5 highlighting. Nah, I'll go back to this. This one doesn't bother me too much. Animate menus. Okay, transition speed. Choose the transition speed. Let's go to default. Okay, I click portal. I'm gonna click 3, 2, 1, click. That's a delay. All right, we're gonna do it again. So now, preferences. Oh dear. It's remembering where all this stuff is at. Transition speed. I'm gonna go faster because I don't know why you do fast unless it's because like it bogs down your machine. All right, 3, 2, 1, click. That's faster. So like like that, going from recruitment to squad was not that much faster. So it's improved, and my guess is, I think that's what the modders have done. Is there was I think it was like a 330 millisecond delay in the UI loading, and that's probably because they're struggling with performance or optimization. I don't know. I'm not a developer. But they also want to make sure for most machines it works. So if it's like, if that works for your machine, great. Maybe you've got a better graphics card or CPU or whatever it uses to make this happen. So that is that part of the patch. Let's go back to the browser. Hold on, I have to actually pull the browser up, and I'm going to check on the chat here in just a second. Attribute color is important. Yeah, like they've at least given us some options. Surely they'll provide the customization in the future. Patrick Solid got the UI as slow as ever. Match it was so choppy. Worse. Sad Kent. So it's worse for you on the new patch. Interesting. Sorry to hear that. Uncheck them. Smelly Wrestling Geek. Uncheck them. Uncheck the animate boxes? Is that what you're saying? Definitely hardware dependent. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't disagree that skins are great. I just want the stock game to be good, right? So That's kind of my hope. It's like, you shouldn't be reliant on someone doing that. The transitions. Okay, let's go back to that. Let's go back to that. Let's do this. We got 84 people watching. Can we get some likes? Can we get some likes while I go back into the game? Let's try this again. This is called live testing, folks. Maybe you're at work or you're just mad. Okay, I'll make sure I got this. Uncheck them. The transitions. These? Let's try that. Oh, sorry, I did it this way earlier. Ooh! Smelly wrestling geek with the epic name. And sorry that my Steam Lab says that the messages should be have a black background, but they don't. So it's kind of hard to read those, isn't it? I apologize. But maybe people that are watching in a VOD can understand later. Andrew Stevenson just subscribed. Look at that. Is that Yoshi? Is that Yoshi? So yeah, that's not quite FM24 fast. But that was one of my criticisms, is like, if you could get, or not criticisms, that was one of my comments I think I made in a video, or maybe it's been in the Discord, I'm not sure. If you could get close to how fast FM24 was, I think people were going to have to, I don't think we have an option, are going to get used to the new UI and where stuff's at, and oh, that's under transfer activity now. Oh, okay, great, right? But the hesitation in the transitions has made that friction and that change management, and people hate change, that much worse. So that is a nice improvement. I will thank you again for, what is it? Sorry, Smelly Wrestling Geek. I love the name. Oh dear. Orhan, we're just getting into it. We've got attribute colors and we've got UI transitions that are much faster, depending on your machine. Unreal Gecko, I'm doing well. Thanks for your support the other day. Hello, fellow beta tester, says Homeless Panda. Yes. Shams, my machine is very old. I don't actually have a GPU, and the transitions purely visual. They don't help older machines anyway. They just went for looks or functionality, which is a pattern. I think I disagree, Shams. I think that they had that originally. I could be wrong, because they were struggling to get the stuff to load on the screen. But I don't know that. And wow, to playing FM without a GPU. You're talking like integrated graphics on a CPU? Is that what you got going? My hat is off to you. It's back there. It's over there. There's my hat. Goodness me. That is something right there, my friends. Ooh, we went from 7 to 21 likes. How about that with 95 people? That's a step in the right direction. All right, so we've done this. All right, change default coloring of attributes. Okay, they have a 1.5 match speed and a 4x match speed. That seems like it would be, between highlights. Okay, so let's say 4x in highlights would be like, it'd be like the 2D thing. Oh, Quinny, how you doing? Thanks for subscribing. Added preference option to allow users to customize attribute colors. Wait, change to default coloring of attributes to make them more distinguishable. Oh, so the change, okay. I think customize is not the word you should be using here. I think you've given us 4 options to select from. But anyway. Manually scouting a player will now correctly delegate an appropriate scout. Okay. New gen portraits now appear during match broadcast graphics. Okay, so I guess I hadn't seen that yet. I hadn't gotten that far to have like a, match show up with no new gen face. Issue preventing subs processing that were made at halftime via the tactics screen. That's fixed. Issue where a white match ball would be used in snowy weather. Again, that's a small thing, but like that would be one of those friction annoying things. Set piece attributes are now visible when setting set piece and penalty takers. Oh yeah, that was a big pain for a lot of people, right? You had, I'm going to penalties in the cup quarterfinal, and it's like, good luck picking them because you couldn't see the attributes, which is just funny. Orhan, I am a Liverpool fan. We actually won a game. Thanks for asking. The 2D thing is useless. Yeah, I'm getting used to it. Oh my gosh, people are subscribing. Stefan Stein, thanks for joining. If that's too big, folks, with that image on the screen, let me know. Okay, but this is big that I haven't gotten to penalties yet in a match. Maybe we'll do that today. I'm not sure. But you can actually select from your best penalty takers. Same thing with set pieces. Excellent. Tactic familiarity will now correctly progress over time. Okay, we gotta test that one. We gotta test that one, my friends. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm getting 2 notifications for people subscribing, so I'm not sure what the deal is there. We got 23 likes, 112 people liking. Hit the like button. I'm going to test something here. Just 1 second. Oh, uh-oh. Whoops. I thought hitting the add button would give me an option. Let me know if it just inserted an ad on your screens. Did it just play an ad? Oh, it didn't just play an ad. Okay. It was like, try this. So maybe it inserts an ad in the VOD. I was like, I was expecting like a pop-up box. All right, 28 likes with 116 people. Come on, lads. All right, all right, what we're gonna go test the tactical familiarity. Because that is a silly thing, yeah? We go to, oh geez, where is it? Tactics. And it was like here. Ah, look, my team understand. Oh shoot, it is all over with the chat box, isn't it? Can I make the game smaller? What's behind here? It's just darkness. I'm gonna go with that for right now. I know you probably can't see as well, but essentially, there was a problem where like it was literally, it felt like they were opposites. Where like if your team was excellent, it was showing as empty. And I feel like there's been a lot of stuff in FM26 where it's been like what you expect, but literally the exact opposite. So my team now knows what my tactic is. That seems silly, but that is a massive thing. Like you're like, oh, okay, this is my, my under 21 player who I brought up. How well do they know it? Oh, they're struggling a little bit. And like, if you can't figure out what's not working, like what's the deal? So that's nice that they fixed that. That's nice. So I will take that. Let's go back to the browser. Fix issue causing World Golden Ball Award to be skewed towards South American players. Now, I did not have that. I'm going to scroll this up so I can remember where we're at. But I definitely saw somebody on Twitter saying that it was like a bunch of like bang average South American players. Or maybe, okay, World Golden Ball. I think I did like the Ballon d'Or or whatever. What's it called? World Golden Ball. I can never remember which is which. Okay, why does it take me here? Okay, this looks correct on mine, but maybe people had different experiences. I'm not sure. So, I never ran into that. I'd be curious, like, is it because like the different leagues you might have had loaded? Why would that be messed up? Right? Okay, World Golden Ball in the women's game is not working yet. Or maybe it hasn't happened yet. World Footballer of the Year? Yeah. She's on my squad. She's on my squad. Vinny Jr. insists it's not correct. But okay, what? This is in the past. I guess that's why there's no rating. Okay, does it say that on the women's? Okay, it does. 24-25. That's fair. That's why there's no rating. That's just me. That's just me being an idiot. It's fine. Okay, back into the browser. I got to get better at this, folks. We're going to be doing lots of streaming, so if you're new around here, subscribe while I get better at this. Okay. Text scaling preference option will now be saved after exiting the game. Let me know in the chat, have you changed the size of the text, like small, medium, large, or whatever it is? I've just left it the same. I tried large and it was way too big, and I was like, nah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Fixed issue preventing user from closing fixtures and results pop up post match. I've had it where it's just an X and it doesn't do anything. Oh, is that what they mean? Maybe. Like, it's like a tile that you don't know why it's there, but like you really just hit continue. Like, I think it shouldn't have an X rather than that being a problem. Like this, maybe this is something else. Causing player database to return incorrect results as user switch between interest levels. Is that scouting? That's probably scouting. Folks on small text. I even find the text to be uneven on list views. I still see slightly different sizes. Does it show the stage of a cup in the schedule? No, it doesn't. Well, let's check. I don't think so. I do remember where these things are. Fixture schedule. No, it doesn't. Nowhere on here does it tell me what's going on in the Champions League, and there was a cup game. Doesn't even say we got beat. Spoilers, we got beat. Text size was the most boring thing for me on my laptop. Even at big was crazy small. How is it now? Okay, well, I'm playing on a 27-inch 1440p monitor, so it's going to look different. I will show you what it looks like, because that's what this stream is about. Would that be audio visual? That's visual, yes. No, apparently not. Accessibility? No. Oh, gosh. Where is this? All preferences. Can I just search for it? I have found the search bar to be incredibly good and a useful thing. I think I said that the last time we streamed. Where is it? Graphics quality, sounds. Why is it here? Well, okay. Why is text scaling interface? Why is interface not in? Okay, it's here. So we go small. Oh, that's. Oh gosh. I mean, you can fit more stuff. That's, that'd be good. But I don't know how. Look, they're small. Let's go to larger. That's pretty massive. Looking at the two screens. And it causes lots of text truncation, which is just kind of funny. I just think the amount of text truncation in this game is kind of shocking. Yes, if you are using ultra wide, I'm sorry to hear that, Homeless Panda, but wait, did you say 49-inch ultra wide monitor? 49? That's a TV. What are you talking about? 49-inch curved monitor? I would imagine you were in like the 0.01% of people playing FM that have that. Let me catch up on the chat here for just a second. So Max, I hope that answers your question about the text size. Dan, GigaChad's dad. Okay. How do you get the update? It's not showing on my Steam. Dan, I will do this every so often, folks. If you were here at the beginning, I apologize. We have 149 people watching, 33 likes. It would really help if you hit the like button. I'm going to walk you through how to do this. So, Dan, GigaChad's dad, Dan, my man, you're going to go to your Steam library. You're going to right-click on Football Manager 26. You're going to click Properties, and then you're going to see this option here on the left, the Football Manager 26 General Updates, Installed Files, and Betas is the thing you're going to click. And then that drop-down box on the right that says Beta Participation, where mine says public_beta, yours will say none, and then you can, I think it'll say none, and you can click on it and choose public_beta. You can then close that box, and you will notice in your library the name of FM26 changes, and it starts to download a 2.6 gigabyte update. So hopefully that helps you get to where we are at in the future. All right, so I'm going to go back to the chat here. I'm going to leave this up for a second in case you don't know how to get to it. Any changes in the marking and long shots? Haven't gotten that far. It says JP Suto. It does say that there's it's a non-exhaustive list, so they may have tweaked stuff. But I would think something like that they might mention. So I doubt it. My guess is they're kind of leaving the match engine stuff. You might disagree with the match engine and how it works right now, but they're probably going to just leave that so they can make it work on people's machines. Yeah, touchpad. You want skins because you don't trust SI to create a working GUI. Fair. Okay. It's a monitor. I play Sim games too. My gosh. I would just hope you could understand, Humble Panda, that, like, again, how many people are on a 49-inch curved monitor? It's got to be. I bet there's less than 100, right? But I could be wrong. Couldn't find the job center. Where is it? I have no idea, Carl. I haven't tried that yet. Proper saves with public beta now. That's what we're looking at. Is it RCKTN? We're looking at that now. Smelly Wrestling Geek, you're on a 32-inch curved ultra wide and it's perfect. Was it not perfect? That'd be my question, because there were a lot of complaints about ultra wide people saying it didn't work. Is it better now? Like, have they adjusted something there? Hey, Mateus. Mawashi 4K TV 60, I guess 60-inch. I'm just saying a 49-inch curved monitor is aggressive. Could you pin a chat? Could write the instructions here and pin it. Ooh, okay. I'll do that. Justin, thank you for subscribing. Here, excellent. Can I pin a chat? Is that is that a thing you can do? I can do members only. I can start a Q&A and I can start a poll. I don't see an option to pin a chat. Let me try. Oh, I can pin my own chats. So let's do this. To get the new patch. Oh, you can't hit Shift Enter? Come on. To get the new patch. To get the new patch, go to Steam Library. Right click on FM26. Click Properties. Go to Betas. Click drop down and select Public Beta. Public Beta. That gets to the core of it. Oh, look at that Unreal Gecko. Everybody give a some sort of an emoji for Unreal Gecko, because he just saved us a lot of pain. And while you're doing it, hit the like button. We got 40 likes and 131 people in here. Urus, thank you. You coming back to YouTube? I loved your Nordic series. Old guys here too. Yeah, Twitch for me, as a user of Twitch, way too many ads. I mean, just 3 minutes of ads every 15 minutes is just absurd. So I'm going to do it this way, and trust that people will subscribe and like and share and stick around, right? Fat Man on a Bike, I've just pinned a chat that has the instructions on how to do it. It'll look like the screen that's popping, or the image that's popping up on your screen right now. I'm just going through chat and then we'll get back into it. M4 Heretic, it's a beta. Yeah, it's for people testing because they don't want to push it out and then break other things. So they want people to test and provide feedback that, hey, it still works on my machine and nothing else is broken. So that's fine. What do you know about matches freezing or yes, Artie, that is in the patch notes. We will take a look at that here in just a second. Let me get rid of this and I'll show that where that is. Jonas, I'm one of those 100, also on a 49-inch widescreen curved monitor. What do you know? What's the best screen resolution for the 49? I didn't expect this to break down into a 49-inch curved monitor discussion. Yo, the review, the correct patch this time. Yes, this is the correct patch this time, Martin. For those of you that didn't see the first live stream, I reviewed the wrong patch for the first 15 minutes. Excellent for people sticking around. Okay, so back to the patch notes. If you're asking about matches freezing, further fixes to matches freezing at the start of the second half in single player career is as far as we've gotten. Oh my gosh, we are blowing up with subscribers. Hit the like button if you are so inclined to do so. They've got 1 point. People are coming in now. Oh my gosh, it's happening twice. I don't think it should be happening twice. I'm getting the sound twice, but the things that they've highlighted. Okay, you can pick from 4 attribute color options. You can't customize your own. You can make the UI transitions faster or get rid of them completely so it just loads. And there's a 1.5x match speed option. If you are team spacebar, that is coming probably in the next patch. So that's what's going on there. You can also pick your penalty takers. We got that far. Tactical familiarity works. We've shown that in the stream. Player fixed issue causing player days return incorrect results if user switch between interest levels. So I think what that is, if we go over here, we go over here, and we go to player database, and we say, I'm looking for whatever. I'm looking for a striker. Right. And I'm looking for doubtful. It would change some of this. Of course, I'm still getting random. Are these colors intentional? Because I'm seeing a lot of like, what does the green circle with the orange text mean? Does anybody know? Does anybody know? But apparently when you would change this interest level, it would change some things here. Now, the other thing I'm curious while we're here is there was a bug where if you found an attribute, let's say I want finishing. Oh, you could pick the attributes. I wonder if that's in the patch notes. That didn't used to be there. You used to have to go back to conditions and then it would show up there, or like, you know, close the screen and come back. So that is fixed. So, you know, again, it's not going to be perfect, but they've noticed some things, and we're going to talk about the reviews here in a little bit. So stick around for that. Fixed issue forcing user holiday pass end of season team meeting. I haven't gotten there yet, so good to know that that's not a thing I'll run into now. Staff responsibilities have been made accessible and easier to locate. I know I complained about that because like I was going, I don't know where this is at, and I was just going responsibilities and finding it this way. Okay. So what are they saying? They're saying it's easier to locate. Is it just that they've added a button here? I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember what the other one looked like. Isn't it when a report is old, the text in the circle gets orange and red? Oh! I have no idea. Hin Iku? Maybe. I thought it was a bug. So, apparently responsibly. But look, if you just joined and you haven't seen how fast it is, what I've done here, I'm sorry if you've been here, we're just gonna do this a couple times. People coming in. We're gonna go to audio visual. You can choose your presets here. You can change the colors. One of 4 presets. You can also click off animate menus, reports, cards. You can do transition speed up to faster. And when you do that, it's not perfect, but some screens load faster than others. The squad screen I find loads the slowest, but the rest are pretty snappy. So props to them. Props to them. Really makes them sound we're so enthusiastic about features that should already be in the game. I'm enthusiastic because I was really afraid if they didn't have a good patch today, like if it was just stability, that we were in a much worse position. So we're going to talk about SI and communication and stuff and reviews, but at least they are somewhat paying attention. They could not, right? And that would be worse. The chat has devolved into talking about screen sizes. That's amazing. Subscribers, oh my gosh, did I say these? Justin, Matthew, Callum, Tuguldur, thank you for joining. If you're new, hit the like button or subscribe if you're new. Okay, let's go back down. We did this. Selecting any carousel option besides the first on the club staff now takes you to the correct view. Okay, let's read that. Any carousel option besides the first on the club staff now takes you to the correct view. I'm going to read that again to myself. Any carousel option besides the first on the club staff now takes you to the correct view. Club staff, this? Is this a carousel, and why does it jump? Why is it different? So this one's just slightly over to the side because it adds the scroll. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I still don't understand why I can't compare my staff to other staffs. I miss that graph. Even if your staff's really bad, at least you know. At least you know in comparison. It's the 3 dots at the top of the tile. Banta Boss FC. It's the 3 dots at the top of the tile. Under here? Oh, this. That's the carousel. Okay, interesting. Wait, they all say club staff. Is this like, I guess this is like, whatever. This is the first team. This is my, whatever, under 21s, and this is my under 18s. So it still doesn't tell you what staff you're looking at. Okay, but at least it's the correct view. Right. Yeah. M4. Sorry, because I'm trying to keep the chat visible. I can make it if it bot. Is this? Do you want this? You're enjoying this better. You want that better? Oh, are you saying this window like in oh, I've clicked it. Does the back button work? It does. This window. Why is this small? Let me know. Not me. Yeah. Okay. I just never know, right? Because somebody might be watching this on their phone and they're miserable. So we'll just see how it looks with bouncing it around. That's a whole thing with it. Yeah. Popping it out. Let's do that. I still don't feel like that's ideal. We can see the chat on the side. I need to be able to see the chat. And somebody watching on a VOD that doesn't click live replay, I realize that they might be confused if they're like, who's this? You know, like, what are these comments, right? It's easier to reference the comment if it's on the screen. That's just me. Okay. Career stats will no longer display... Career stats will no longer display goalkeeper columns for outfield players. Go on. Fixed issue preventing users to progress through the UCL squad registration despite correct number of homegrown players included. I'm playing in the women's game right now, so I haven't run into that. But maybe that's just the UCL as in the men's. Correct pronouns now be used with Ask Agent about availability conversation. I think I reported. No, I reported a journalist one where it said he or him to my Wolfsburg women's staff. So good to know that they fixed some of that. Mental attributes will now display correctly when set within the staff database tool. Mental attributes will now display correctly when set. Okay, is that like when you're searching for staff, I guess? Fixed issue where there was no way to tell which clubs were promoted or relegated. Season preview. Ooh. I guess I hadn't realized that. And it doesn't, I don't think it works. Somebody's saying to make this big. Yes, this is the new patch. Lisbeth. Sorry, I'm trying to make this. I really, if somebody could figure out, maybe I just need to make a little black square that goes on the screen, right? And it'll go behind the image. Is that what the cool kids do? Is that what I'm supposed to be doing right now? Can I just do a color? We'll do that later. This does not work in the women's game, I don't believe. So let's look at it live. Competitions, is it here? This shouldn't stay open, it still does. That's okay, we're working on it. Competitions. Okay. Preview. I guess it's under stages. Yes. Season preview. There is no season preview. So I can't tell you if it's fixed it on the women's game. I guess we could go look at, let's go look at Liverpool. And now we'll click Premier League. Mark, thanks for subscribing. Why is it purple? What am I doing wrong? Why are some of these links purple? Anybody know? That's interesting. Season preview. You can now tell the promoted teams. That's not a major thing, but it's a nice thing. You know, that's a nice thing to get added in. So that's fixed, but it doesn't work at all in the women's game. Let's go click back on Liverpool, and now let's click the women's. Does it work? Oh my gosh. Just getting used to this. WSL. There's no season. The women's game has no season preview. I guess we need to report that as a bug. Right? the women's game in real life existed last season, right? So like they should still be able to tell us the preview, right? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm getting us back to where we were. I'm going to go look at the chat. There's 48 likes on 175 people. I think we can do better. Hit the like button. Really helps out. Are you able to resize by dragging the edges in window mode? I think that's a good shout out to check, but I don't think that's not in the patch notes, but we will give it a shout. Or a shot, I should say. Okay, if I go windowed, and let's just, yeah, let's leave it this size. Confirm. No, you cannot grab the edges. You can't see what I'm doing, but it doesn't work. I'm going to take us back to full screen. So no, windowed mode is still just the current size. That's because they don't have adaptive scaling. So that has not changed in this patch. Club badges are now shown on the Media Dream 11. Okay. Navigational direction arrow shortcut now functional across cards and tools. Back navigational. Okay. Directional arrow shortcut. Is that like hitting left on my keyboard? Or is that the top left? Will it be there after one played season, Heretic? You're talking about the season preview? Probably. I haven't gotten that far yet, but shouldn't... If you can do it for the Premier League, because obviously the game didn't sim last season, they have actual results and showed the promoted clubs. Why not do it in the women's game? That doesn't make any sense. Overall start or until dates within club finances, debts, and loads will no longer display as 1/1/1900. I wonder, I also saw that there was like been at the club since. So if you go to staff, where was that? There was somebody had a screenshot that showed like been at the club since, and it was like 1362, but really it was like number of days. I don't even know where that would be though. I thought it would be under all staff. Personal. If anybody knows where that's at, drop it in the chat, because I'm just going to be a lost little puppy. So I don't see that, but we'll go check that out. Let me check on the chat here. Go to staff database and sort by mentals. We'll do that, Mateus. Is there a patch to fix Barcelona's defense? Hyperlinks homeless. But why are they... yeah, I guess. Maybe that makes sense. But there's a lot of stuff, like if you're in like a journalist interaction, right? And like it'll have a name and you can click on it. That's not purple usually. So that's interesting. I wish they fixed the crazy amount of shots you get each match. Yeah, there have been a lot of shots. Yeah, I thought that was just my Wolfsburg team being excellent because of my tactics. Alfred, you're welcome. No adaptive scaling is a legit deal breaker. It's the way I play it. Yeah, sorry to hear that. Attributes work. I can see progress. Club owners since 554, something like that. Ah, okay. I wonder if that's still the case. Let me hop back into the game. I was looking at chat. Oh dear. I'm definitely gonna remember how to get to the club owners. Is that board? No. Would that be oh, see, it's just about the club. Why is this box so small? Why is it so small? Club site. Can I do club site? Stat. Okay. I don't even know how to find the club's owners. News, finances, more. I thought it'd be bored. Ah, there it is. There it is. So obviously, Julian Makowski has not been the chairperson since the year 1119. They've been the number of days That is such a silly thing to have not gotten right. But, you know, there you go. If you're managing a men's team, any women's team or league appear green. I assume this is why the men's teams and leagues are purple and you're safe. Oh, okay. So on the men's side, the women's stuff is green. That would be a good thing to like mention, right? It's like a welcome to the game. You're gonna see this because it's just like that just confusing to me. All right, let's go back to the patch notes. This is how long this is. We've been on for like an hour. Fixed issue when squad numbers will be missing of making a single substitution. Okay, that's pretty minor, but I guess sure. Injury icon now better displayed on contrasting red kits. User can now select none as an option for individual training. Honestly, haven't even tried training. Haven't even gotten that far. We've been in such a mess. User can now remove previously set individual training focus. That makes sense. If you couldn't, that's kind of broken. I wonder that I know I'm going to be bouncing around here a lot. I wonder, can you remove your squad views? You Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. There is no way to delete my squad views, so be careful with that if you're creating squad views. Because I don't know of a way to get rid of them. So like if you keep making copies, it's going to just keep making copies, which is not good. One of the things I did see earlier is you now, when you hover over the form, you can actually see the game, which is all right. I do wish there was more like elevation change between a 7.1 and a 6.8. Like the 7.4 and the 7.1 to me look pretty similar. They look pretty similar to me. The other thing that drives me crazy. Okay, let's take Alexandra Pop. All right, you see this? Everybody, I want you to focus very intently right now after you hit the like button. And we're gonna have, okay, here in the game, it's March 25th. This game on the right against Hoffenheim on the 21st. Thank you, Darren, for subscribing. Except your thing has popped up over what I'm showing, Darren. Bro, timing. Okay. The game on the right is March 21st, and the game date right now is March 25th. Okay, we all got that? Hoffenheim, March 21st. If I click on Alexandra Pop, and I click on her form, the game on the left is March 21st. Why does this form graph run from over here to over here, and the one on the squad screen runs from over here to over here? I don't understand. I'm almost certain, unless someone tells me I'm just crazy, your latest games were here on the form graph? This is what I'm talking about. I feel like a lot of stuff is just 180 degrees of what it's supposed to be. Like they just slapped it together. It's just bizarre to me. But you tell me if I'm wrong. Right click on the bar with the column titles to remove saved views. Ha! Delete current view. Okay, I didn't know that. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I thought it was done differently. At least you can do it. Okay, good to know. Toon Barmy, yes, the patch is only for Steam because it's not like a we've confirmed we're patching the entire game for everybody. This is like, please help us test this. And so there is a beta path in Steam. The instructions on how to get to that are pinned as a comment in the stream. Two different coders, Andrew. I mean, yeah, but it's like that. It's like it's so unpolished, right? You go like that is so simple, right? Anyway, I'm gonna stop ranting. We're gonna go back to the notes. Where were we? We were like down here. Fat Man on a Bike has excellent timing. Look at that. He waited till we were off FM and I was showing something. I was in a pause. I mean, that's just everybody in the chat say at Fat Man on a Bike. Great job. I want to see it in the chat. Career managerial vacancies will now display both men's and women's teams. Okay, I haven't actually looked at the job center, so career managerial vacancies. Somebody asked about this earlier. There are 199 people watching. Oh my gosh. Hi. Hi. I hope you'll stick around. Managerial vacancy. So if you're not sure where the job center is, apparently it's here. And now it will show, since we just learned that purple means this is if you're playing the women's game, purple means men, and the white means the women's game. So obviously Serie A, Women Athora, which is a fantastic name for a league. Insecure. Honest. Oh, look at the chats coming in for fat men on a bike. I mean, you gotta love that. You gotta love that. So that's the job center, folks. Now, question. I've not used this at all. Oh, don't tell me, chat. Chat. I thought this was all the. It says 5 available jobs, and my brain miscounted and said, "Oh, that's 5." No, there's loads of jobs. Why is this box half of my screen? Why is the box half of my screen? The only way I picked that up was scrolling. Guys, what are we doing? And no filters. Yeah, I was looking for the filter button. We were looking, my brain was like, surely there's a way to say I'm not interested in that or this or the other. I am right clicking all over this screen. I don't know if you can hear that with my mic. Oh, wait. Oh no, that's because I clicked on a league. You can't. Good luck starting a journeyman save. Good start. Good luck starting a journeyman save. What are we doing with that business? They'll fix it. They will fix it. That's the thing. I want to give them grace. They will fix it. But that is just, what's tragic, lads. Okay, I'm catching up on chat. I see lots of people saying "fat man on a bike, great job." Ursus, yeah. I mean, you've got muscle memory, but you're gonna develop new muscle memory. You'll get used to it. It just has to work, right? Like that's the thing I've been frustrated with. I can't help you, Heretic, on console crashes. I'm not experiencing that. I've seen some really, really bad like videos of like people where it's like jittery, and like that's obviously not good. Are you able to make substitutions in game and not go to tactics? Alfred will try it because we're going to play with Leon if we can get through all the patch notes. Kick butt Kiwi, you are welcome for me giving honest opinions and not sugarcoating stuff. I try to be fair and balanced, right? Like, I'm not trying to like be rage bait and like, I'm not the guy lighting everybody's pitchforks on fire. The reality is, it's not in a good state. They need to work on it. They put out really good games in the past. This has got a lot of work to do. Lots of people recognizing at the same time as me that the half is empty. Real estate is expensive. Yep. Game fan, no comparison between staff. Yep. The whole hiring staff thing is just bad. It's just bad. They're saving virtual ink. Zero logic sense. Yep. Job center still a mess. You see. Yep. Dan, Giga Chad's dad, you're welcome. So you had to restart. I should have put that in the pinned comment. Restarting Steam helps a lot usually. Feels like it's AI generated, Savage Gordon. I could see. I think it's just poorly designed, and that sounds worse. I guess. If I speak, I'm in trouble. Yep, we've used that. If you don't know what Unreal Gecko's, I mean, obviously you know what Unreal Gecko's talking about, but I've used that a lot in the Discord, where we have very civil conversations, and the link to the Discord should be in the description of this live stream. Go check it out, but only if you're civil. Killamatty, yes, FM's gotten an update. It's in the pinned comment as to how to get to it, because it's not a regular pushed out update, it's a test update. Toon Barmy, we gotta just ride the bull another year, I reckon. We'll talk about SI and their communication strategy here in a little bit. If FM26 were a player, it'd be a 2.5-star player now. Of what color? Gray or yellow? James, game still broken? They've actually, to be fair, and I think this is fair, they've made some nice improvements. It's not fixed. to be also clear. But it's a lot. I mean, we're scrolling here. This is a long list. All right, let's go through this. We can chat about other things. Fixed issue where player would reject their own asking price that they themselves had set. Imagine how frustrating that would be. Sell me for $5 million. Hey, we got a deal for $5 million. Nah, I'm not going to take that. But I think I felt like, I wonder if that's an extension of what would happen on FM24, where like, oh, I'm so unhappy, mate. I want to leave. And then like you get them you go find somebody and they're like, yeah, I turned down that contract. And you're like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Fixed issue preventing user from continuing if loanee was injured on international duty. Ooh, hadn't run into that. That would be frustrating, obviously. Accessories will now correctly reflect color changes. Don't care. Managed creation. Fixed wrinkle slider not applying. Does anybody in the chat care about your manager? I genuinely don't get it. I'm not saying, like, I'm not talking bad about people who do care. Especially now. That's what you fixed? The manager that I never see doesn't have my exact wrinkles? What are we doing? Manager tire choice. I don't care. Fixed issue where remove button was not displaying in squad planner. Okay. Fixed user being able to sell installments within clauses tool. There was another one about this. User can only mortgage transfer installments from the point they took over, not from real world transfers that occurred pre-game start date. So like, whatever. Liverpool buys Verts and says, "Can we give it to you over 2 years?" I don't think they did, but let's say that they did. You can't sell that clause in advance if it was done in real life before the game. Club header and welcome pack will now display the correct information. Well, that's not specific enough, but okay. Like, I guess that's when you first join, right? Refined 2025 squad registration rules for NWSL. Ooh! Somebody did a video about NWSL. Wonder who that could be. Me? Let's go look. Shall we go look? Let's go look at NWSL. Yeah? I wonder what fixed means. I'm going to read it again because I just got funny with myself and I've lost my refined 2025 squad registration rules for the NWSL. Okay? We're into the... It's 3 people watching this care about this, but it's important that it works. Okay? That's what we're doing with this stream. First off, you don't get a rules pack about the squad registration. You get it in MLS and you get it in the 2 Aussie leagues that have salary caps. But that's fine. Let's go to registration. I'd love to know what they fixed because this makes you think I'm over my squad size of 26. I'm not. I am under my minimum squad size. I'm under my squad salary, and that 54 and then a paragraph break for K is silly. I have no more than that's. I don't know what they fixed, but it's not this. It ain't. That ain't it, boss. That ain't it, boss. Anybody know in the chat? I will get back to the chat here in a second after I reload Wolfsburg, where we were. While we're waiting on that, exit talks button now functions correctly within contract negotiations. I'm not going to test that, but that makes sense. Reworked match momentum graph to better show teams with dark coloring. Good. I think the momentum. I think all the graphs are broken. We can look at Data Hub, but I think all the graphs are broken. Opposition team will now be highlighted in Europa Conference League pre-match league tables. Good. Winners will now display within competitions card. Good. Users now always taken back to portal after using instant result for a friendly match. Makes sense. Red card icon will now correctly display for each respective team within the score bar of men's Champions League matches. Somebody in the chat said something about red cards earlier. This seems like a very narrow fix, but important, I guess. And then I would ask the question, why would the red card icon be different in the Champions League? Is it because of the branding? Like, it was trying to use, like, the very specific red card branding from the Champions League? Maybe? Maybe? Fixed spacing of the aggregate score within the score bar of the men's Champions League. Okay. I think the spacing was, I saw some stuff where like the names were like messed up or something. Spacebar can now be used to interrupt holiday or processing. So Team Spacebar, you cannot go through your messages, but you can go through, you can stop holiday or processing. Fixed issue where find similar players to within the player database wouldn't filter out correct results. Fixture tile on portal will now correctly update post-match. Ahaha! Okay. Wait, fixture tile. Fixture tile. Fixture tile? Maybe this wasn't updating? I was wondering if it was like, I've had it where you win and you move up the table, but the thing on the final screen before you make it back to the portal has a red down arrow next to it. Backs Southport just joined. Is this a good patch? They have made some improvements. It's not perfect, but they made some improvements. We'll review them here in a second. We're almost done with this, and then we'll go back to the top. Scouting finish message headline will now display the name of the player. Important. Intermediary suggestion headline will now display the name of the player. Important. Okay. Issue causing the attributes graph within the progress report not to display graph lines. I had that, but it was like they displayed, but they displayed broken. If that makes sense. Like they were. I can't find you an example because they fixed it, but okay. Added a leave button to continue panel so spectators of an online match can leave during halftime. Okay. I don't do online right now. Fixed inconsistency of teams being selected by default via quick start. Interesting. Fixed a non-EU rule in Serie A. Unmanageable divisions will no longer display within advanced game setup. Smart. Ooh, I wonder if they fixed like the menu bouncing around. Like when you go to include the countries. Improved in-game tooltips and resolving issues with text wrapping and display location logic. Display has been re-added to first team form, so we've already looked at that. And changed the color styling on the first team position selectors to ensure the position selectors reflect the team selection correctly. That the word select was used too many times there. I'm not showing the patch notes. Sorry. Change the color styling on first team position selectors to ensure the position selectors reflect the team selection correctly. First team position selectors. This. To ensure the position selectors reflect the team selection correctly. So it was like the wrong people being listed here? Maybe that's what this means? Not sure. Fixed issue preventing medical center season summary table from loading despite having an injured player. Okay. That's the last part of the patch notes. Let me catch up on the chat here. There's 208 of you in here, and we have 78 likes. That means we have 120 something likes we could get, folks. That would be awesome. Let's look here. They fixed the wrinkle slider, folks. Open your wallets. Yep. Kirakaz, these people don't even understand their own game with the things they prioritize. I'm not angry, I'm just bemused by them. What's going on over there? My guess is different teams, different levels of teams. Maybe you take your junior developer and you say, hey, could you fix this little thing over here? And maybe that's how they're using their resources. I don't know. Needs more wrinkles. There's lots of the slander about wrinkles. The slander about wrinkles on me is just, I mean, ban. Everyone's getting banned. Kojo, is anyone game freezing on the game save tab after the update? Like hitting. Oh, it's way tall. The patch notes are way tall. Sorry about that. Why is it different? Why is it moved over? What is that about? Maybe I did something. Not sure. The save tab, like here? Sorry, let me show it on the screen. Like this? Is that what you mean? Hey, Northman, how you doing, man? So like if I click save, let's see, did we just crash everything? Or maybe it's like if you open it up, it's working for me. It's working for me. So I'm not experiencing that. If you're experiencing that and you're on the beta, you should go report that as a bug, because obviously that's pretty massive, right? If you, hey, please go update, and then you update and then it breaks, right? That would be less than ideal, you could say. Going back to the chat here, just getting caught up. Steve, some of the weird fixes like wrinkles are probably a one-line or one-click fix, hence being done. Yeah. Yeah, again, I think it's probably just like, who can fix this? I've got a second. Done. You know, like turning a 0 to a 1, right? On in, you know, binary. Binary. There may be a patch to fix the patch. Yes, of course. This is a test patch. That's why they didn't push this out as like the main thing, Toon Barmy. Why do we have fixture schedule and fixtures on the portal? Seems redundant. Fair. Sorry, thanks, Mohammed, Unreal Gecko, about the not being on the screen. I'm not on the screen now. I do have FM up. I guess I could just leave this. Where did the browser go now? What the bloody... Okay. I click this and I can see my chat. There you go. So if you haven't seen the patch notes, they're here. The progress graph for attributes is working now. Good. Fat man on a bike. Thanks for noticing that. So again, the patch notes is not all of the fixes. They have in here non-exhaustive. So they fixed some things and not told us. Probably because it's hard to get everybody working on this to get coherent notes together. If you bought players, they sometimes got a yellow card warning, even if they came from another league. Okay. SXX01, is that still happening? Heretic, they should allow us to customize all the tiles. The game is barely functional right now. I mean, that's probably a little bit harsh, but the customization is long into the future, I think. Andy, does sound like some of the fixes are exactly what people asked for. Hopefully more to come soon. Yeah, they've done a good job. Again, my worry, if you didn't see the beginning of the stream, was that we were going to kind of get it's a stability patch, and that would have been bad, because I think yesterday was very bad. We're about to talk about it. Kira guys, yeah, it could be different teams that are being used, and like at the end of the day, like major things being wrong is going to take longer to make sure they get it right. Mateus, can you show the comparison graphs are still wrong? Yes, let's look at that. Let's look at that. I will catch up on the chat. I promise. I'm trying. You guys are so chatty. It's like a streamer's dream. So what we were talking about this in the Discord, which if you haven't joined, you should. Let's say I've got Alexandra Pop. Why is the screen stuck? Thank you. You click comparison. Theoretically, let's take a look. She is 7 crossing, 12 dribbling. Keep that in your brain. That's mostly for me. And we, I hate that we still don't have the positions here. Just remember everyone's name. Thanks. But Bunny Shaw, and also this position map is incorrect. Every place in FM that you have a horizontal position map, this is a goalkeeper, and that's a striker, and they've flipped it 180 degrees. But okay, she's a 7 on crossing and a 12 on dribbling. I think they have fixed that, Mateus, where like these were backwards. Like it would put, I think, like Bunny Shaw here, but like the blue went the correct way, but the numbers were in the wrong place, right? So that has been, I think that's been fixed. Mateus, you can let me know in the chat if that's what you remember, because I remember seeing this and being very confused. Personally, this is not bold enough colors. Like you can barely tell from, at least on my screen, maybe it's because it's going to light in my face, that this is kind of a dark green. It should be this color. Why is it a dark green when this color is a bright green? Right? So, I'm not sure what's going on there. Yusuf, thanks for subscribing. Sorry, I was on the wrong... Here we go. So, like, is this what you meant, Mateus? I'm going to wait for Mateus to say something in the chat that I can see. But... Now, okay, now let's take a look. She had what? 7 Yeah, this is incorrect. Still incorrect. The attributes are correct, but the 7 crossing for Alexandra Pop is green. It's blue here. So this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, the overview 2 is flipped. So they've, I think this was broken, and now only this is broken, except when you look at this, these shouldn't all of these numbers be green? Or does it only highlight the winning number, I guess? Okay, I guess that's one way to do it. But this number is incorrect. So that's curious. That's curious. Muhammad Ali, imagine what FM25 was like for them to consider that to be god awful that they had to cancel it. Lots of questions. I would love to know the real story there. Genuinely. Mark, how long till they can focus on FM27? Not before the end of the year. Good question. No one knows. Manu, would you say that it's now safe to start a long time save? I cannot really answer that for you. I think this patch is helpful, but it's not even been pushed out to everybody. It's on a beta track in Steam. That tells you that they're not 1,000% convinced that it's good to go. Matt, thanks for subscribing. Simon, my game runs much smoother. There's a good update. Yep. The Northman. So far, the last hour has been the best I've had on FM25. Smoother adjustments and tactics in terms of subbing. Changes are working. Next match prep actually works. Good. Haven't even gotten that far. Mark's had his first crash since the patch. Oh, that's unfortunate. Mr. Blackbird, I'm glad you enjoy the shorts. I try not to punch down at SI. I try to be funny, but not punch down, because that's not fun. How long until they fix most of the bugs this year? July. SXX, there is no beta update on Game Pass. This is a test patch. They want us to test it and give feedback. That's why it's been set up the way it is. Once they get enough feedback that it hasn't broken everything horribly, then they will push it out to everybody. Mateus says he'd hold off on long-term saves. It's time to test stuff and understand the game. Yeah, yeah. It's tough because we're gonna pause what we're doing here, folks. We're gonna pause what we're doing here, and how do I do this? Oh, that's gonna get rid of everything. How do I make me big? Give me just a second. Can I copy this? I'm gonna copy this view somehow. Copy. Let's go down here. Now, oh, there's 2 of me. Have mercy. There we go. Let's talk about where we're at. Okay. Lessanima, yes. Lots of notable stuff. Much faster. All that good stuff. Santi Donato, your timing is incredible that you just put Yoshi on my face. We get 98 likes, 215 people. Can we get to 100 likes? A couple people hit like. My brain is trying to be fair and balanced here, folks. I don't understand SI's communication model. I think let's go back. Let's go back in time. It's early October, or whenever they said that they were going to come out with the new game. I'm going to have to move the alert box because that's just, or maybe it's just funny. Maybe it's just funny. We'll just leave it there. Dino and Branislav. Let's go back to early October, and they said, all right, FM community. We're doing a 4-week beta. And it's going to be brutal. It's going to be rough. Maybe they wouldn't say brutal. We need your help. We're really excited about this game. The match engine, you're going to love it. You're going to probably have some friction around the UI because it's new. But we need your help. We're going to take all your bug reports. Here's how we're going to then address. We're going to have a roadmap of how we're going to address your bug reports. We're going to say the first week after the beta comes out on Thursday, November 4th, or whatever it was, if you go back an extra 2 weeks, you get the, or not November 4th, you get my point. The first beta that comes out, the first 3 betas patches that come out are going to be fixes for crashes. You can't test the game if it crashes. We'll have some of our junior dev team work on some of the little things that are broken, but our main focus is having a working game. Then we're going to come out on launch day and we're going to have a full patch that's going to take all the feedback you've given us and we're going to clean up as much as we can, but it's not going to clean up everything. And then here's what the next 4 weeks look like. Here's what the next 8 weeks look like to get us to a really good point. I think if they did that, they'd get a lot more sympathy or grace or people that are willing to say, you know what? Thanks for being honest. Now, the fear of doing that is that it's going to destroy sales. You tell me what you think is worse. Doing that, and I want to see in the comments. Let me know option A, that I'm going to come up with, we're struggling. We're trying our best. We bit off more than we could chew. We need your help, and here's our plan to fix it. Or what we've done, which is putting our marketing on auto post with no interaction so that every time we put something out on Twitter or X or YouTube or whatever, the comments section is on fire about how bad the game is. We're going to roll out FM Assist, but not respond too much to stuff, but at least people have an outlet. Okay, so I'm not saying they haven't done anything. And then when we are the 7th worst rated game in Steam history, which we had a discussion about this in my Discord, you can say, well, that's not right. That's clearly not correct. It doesn't matter. They've got a 1.9, at least they did earlier today, on PlayStation out of 5. The Steam reviews, they have more than 3 times the amount of negative Steam reviews than they did for all of FM24. And they've not said anything. Unless they've said something in the last 2 hours-ish, hour that I've been on, they haven't said anything. It's like ignoring that the building is on fire. Everyone knows the building is on fire. And it's literally the meme of the dog sitting there. This is fine. And just like, yep, let's make sure that marketing video goes out. Let's talk about the best Wonder Kids. What are you doing? What are you doing? Their entire communication model is baffling to me. And that's not, I'm not trying to like pour salt in the wound or poke, I'm not really poking fun at them. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it, personally. Now there's 2 of me. Now there's 1 of me. So I'm gonna read your reaction to that. Hey, is there a fix for freezing game in multiplayer? Maninho, there is a fix if you're watching an online game. That's the only thing I remember about that. Sega would not allow them to do this. I don't care what Sega would do. Sega can't be happy now, Steve. Right? Are they happy? They should have done an Amarim. The storm is coming, but the good days will return. Yeah. They should hire me as a comms manager. Somebody. If they had picked the top FM creators a month before release and put them to play 5 hours, they'd know that. I think SI knew I think they knew. Of course, they knew. They were. This was so illogical to me. They've made great games. FM24 widely considered to be one of the best FM games ever. You may disagree with that, but widely considered. And if you look at the Steam reviews, clearly. But like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why act like everything is fine? Match engine. Match engine. Match engine. What are we doing? It's a disaster. Be honest, no way. AJJ Pickles, they'd get a lot more grace and patience. Yeah, that's just my opinion. Some people don't agree with me. That's fine. You're welcome to have your opinion. You may save sales in the short term, but lose a lot in the future. Yeah, how many people are refunding? You only, if you hadn't had the FM25 thing, then I'd say that's more fair, right? Let me go back to this. If you hadn't had FM25 and taking pre-orders on a game that was clearly so bad that you couldn't release it, and then delaying and then canceling, then I think the grace bucket that the community would have would be bigger. But you already burned that. You burned it pretty badly, in my opinion. Like, credit to them for not putting out a broken game. Credit to them. But it's a quasi-broken game. FM25 must have been unplayable. But you took pre-orders. And then you delayed. And then you went silent. And yes, there was Sega and earnings releases and stock market and publicly traded. Nobody cares. Honesty is the best policy, in my opinion. So now you've burned through that grace, and then you released a game with a marketing plan as if the game was like the best thing ever. And people are crashing multiple times and going like, wait a minute. Wait, this doesn't work. It's not the UI. The UI, you can agree to disagree. I think the UI is fine. I think you'll get used to it. I think it's a lot better if you just joined us from the patch today. They've made it to where you can remove the animation and it just loads. And it's not instant, but it's pretty close. So it's not, people will get used to the new UI and people hate change. You don't help with that change by making the marketing seem like everything's great and then you just run face first into a poop storm like that you created. Let me scroll. Oh, there's lots of chats. The building's not fired. It's an online mass hysteria. I disagree. The game is not in a good state. Or wasn't. It's a lot better today. They have shareholders. They can't yank the stock price. We both know this. What are they going to put in their earnings release? We've released the new Football Manager 26. It's the 7th worst rated game ever to be released on Steam. And it's got our logo, Sega, next to it. Is that better? Is that better? They opted for radio silence, and it's a bold strategy. It failed as expected. Yep. So I'm way behind. Oh, people are reacting. I don't know if it's happy or unhappy. We'll find out. They've chosen arrogance because of being silent. Again, I can understand the position they're in. I just disagree with how they've gone about it. Do you think Miles should hand in his notice? No. Miles gets so much crap. I'm not saying it's great. And at the end of the day, leadership is leadership. Okay? Like, I'm not in that building. I got laid off this year. If you're new around here, I got laid off a week after my dad passed away in February. So I will never say that someone should quit or be fired. I won't do it. I won't do it. I just think it's just ignorance to me to go, everything's great. Look at our match engine. It's just not good. And I'm not saying it should be the 7th worst rated game on Steam, but it is. Sally, the problem has been like this since FM25 radio sounds until everything becomes, yeah. Like, I'm really surprised they didn't say something else today with this new patch. Menino, they fixed something with watching online matches, so it's in the patch notes. They knew that's why the press tour by Miles. Yeah, you could watch that interview with Jack, who's working the space, if you don't know that's Jack, and look at it a little bit differently now. Heretic, Miles is out there saying, give the UI a change and you'll hate it at first. That's change management. That part, I agree with. It is jarring. But like I said in the first video that lots of you discovered me with, it's jarring because the transitions were slow, and they fixed that today. Nobody. If they had lowered the price by half, said how things were, and asked for support from their loyal players, it would have ended much better. And then that's where Sega would go, you're not lowering the price by half. Like, I don't disagree. Or like, we'll throw the editor in for free if you will join us on a 4-week journey to make this a workable game. Or something. Miles has done a lot over the years. Might this be the end of his reign? I'm not in that building. I would never call for that. FM24, widely considered one of the best games ever. Here we are. Something has forced this game to get released, and it probably has to do with money and licenses, in my opinion. MV, thanks for subscribing. James Cahill, thanks for subscribing. Dino, I may have already caught that one. If I missed you, sorry. Mark, people have given 20 hours like he asked us to. Yep. And to be fair, they have fixed today. It's just taken a little bit longer to fix some of the things people complaining about. Secret interviews with creators that all popped up at the exact same time saying the same thing. I mean, yeah, that's marketing though. But like, he's not going to say ever in those interviews. Again, I'm not saying I agree with this, but like, there is a part where you go, hey, the UI, you've got, for some people, because I've gotten all these comments on my channel that I've been playing for 30 years. This is the first time I've refunded. And it's because, hey, James, thanks for subscribing. It's because you've got that muscle memory. Change is hard. Like, let's be honest, change is hard. And they have not made it any easier with how they've gone about it. Right? So we've seen the change curve. Everybody seen the change curve? I'm going to open up an image. We're going to look at the change curve. Okay, I'll make this nice and massive. Oh my gosh, I've lost my cursor. Okay, this is the change curve. That's too big. This is what happens. Okay, this is what happens. Any change you go in through your life, trust me, been through a couple in my life this year. Lost my dad, lost my job. It's been great. You go through shock, and then you say, this can't be happening. And then you're frustrated, and then you're depressed. And as you grow as a human, you go, maybe I give it a shot. And then you go, all right, maybe this wasn't as bad as I thought it was. For some things, obviously some things are unfixable, like my personal situation. And then you move on. There are ways to lessen this curve. I've learned this being in the corporate world. You can make this valley down here not as low. And it feels like, I'm not saying intentionally, but it feels like they have done everything they could to make that down here by not being honest. Now, I think maybe you try and lessen this curve by having those interviews and saying, hey, try it, give it a chance. 20 hours, I think, was a bad way of saying it, because that is a long period of time for a lot of people. Right? So I just think I'm not going to fault creators, right, for doing interviews. That would be silly, wouldn't it? Why did the browser not go away? Why am I over here? There we go. All right, let's get back to the chat. I'm getting caught up. I was getting caught up, and then I just did an example, and I've lost my place. Madden Critic, thanks for subscribing. Dan, I don't understand the refunds. I have one of the best records in making good games. Miles loves his FM game so much he will get it right. Based on the game that was released yesterday, full-blooded, I don't blame anybody for saying, this doesn't work on my machine. What are you going to get? You're going to get refunds. People are going to say, I waited this long. Like, that's the problem, right? People have gotten used to, I can play FM24 with an updated database. And then I'll just wait until somebody tells me SI's got this sorted. Quiche, the update is only for Steam right now because it's a test. And then once it's tested by thousands of people like me and other folks, then they'll push it out to everybody. Mark, I work for a web developer. There's a point in every project where the board tells you ship no matter what state it's in. Patient doesn't last forever. Yeah. So it's like, maybe this is short-term pain for a long-term gain. I'm way, way, way behind. We're reacting to your reactions to our reactions. This is Snowball, yep. Hey, old lady plays. Just saw you. I'm way behind. All right, I'm going to skip forward down to here. To where we were. I don't remember when they added 3D graphics because I wasn't playing then. So I like how I look at this is like, right? There's been a big from your perspectives. Nope, just did the same thing. Wait, where is it? This here? Here we go. Big uptick in the number of FM players, right? And that means there's lots of new folks who are going to go, wait, this was good like 2 years ago. Now it's not. I'm just getting caught up. Sorry, folks. If you haven't hit the like button, do so. There's 240 people in here and 126 likes. Steve, it feels worse because FN24 was great and then no FN25. Yeah, yeah. It's like a double whammy. Quiche, they said as soon as this patch that they've put out like is tested and it's not breaking machines, they'll try and get it out as soon as they can. They did not give a roadmap update for that. They should have canceled FN26 again and released a paid update for FN24 with all the updates for the season as DLC for $14.99. What do you think? I don't think Sega would ever have allowed that. I think a lot of this has to do with Sega, to be honest with you. Nice, we pay full price only to be testers. That is a fair view, Boother. That is like, I cannot discount that. That's only like people saying, well, Miles has done this or SI's done this for 30 years. There's lots of people going like, I just paid $50 for a game that doesn't work at all. What do you expect me to do? And you can put in your interviews that, oh, well, we'll make it right. Well, you haven't. And you've been silent. That's the thing. I think you would see less refunds if there was some sort of communication to be like, we've seen the Steam reviews and we swear we're going to fix it. Here's how, and here's our roadmap. But we're not doing that. Multiplayer is unplayable. I'm sorry, I don't play multiplayer. Yeah, Old Lady is a mod in my Discord, and we have a firm disagreement on things, and that's good. We have civil discussions. I think your average player doesn't care. That's just me. They just want the game to work, and if the game doesn't work, they're gonna say you put out a game that doesn't work. And I'm new. I'm one of the 18 million people that are new since whatever 2020, if you believe that number. They don't care. They just want a working game. Yeah, Dan 86, I agree. Like if there was a hint of honesty, right? Then like I think you'd see a lot more grace. I'd give him a lot more grace. I feel like I've given a lot of grace. But we've had people in the chat going like, when is it safe to start a save? And the game launched yesterday. It's like, I can't answer that question. I don't know. If you think women's football is the problem, I think you're just out of your mind. I have a mom, a wife, and a daughter. I'm glad women's football's in the game. Sadly, it's time for us to accept that a player playing 2 hours of equal worth as a player playing 1,000 hours for SI. I actually looked up how game companies get paid for Xbox Game Pass. I thought it would be based off the percentage of games played. Like if you pay now in the US, I think it's like $30 a month or something like that, and you play one game the entire month, maybe like whatever chunk of revenue of that $30 that any game developer would get would be towards that game. And if it was 2 games, it'd be split 50-50. But apparently, a lot of the time, it's just an upfront payment, which is why it probably comes down to money, right? Like, we have to launch the game because we made everybody mad with FM25. Do you need to start a new save for the updates to go into effect? No. Let's walk through. I've got a pinned comment, but we got a lot of people that weren't in here an hour and a half ago. You're going to go, if you want to get on this in Steam, you're going to go to Steam, you're going to go to Library, you're going to right click on FM26, you're going to click Properties, it's going to open up this box here that's showing up on the screen now. You're going to go down to Betas, and you're going to click the drop down box on the right that says Beta Participation, go Public Beta, Public Beta. You're going to close that box with the X, and then you'll notice your Steam library, the name of FM will change to say like FM26 Beta, and it will download a 2.6 gigabyte update. When the patch comes for other platforms, Game Pass, any info? No, they have not said. And I will pull the patch notes back up. As soon as we get through platform submissions, the update will be rolled out to everyone thereafter. Platform submissions was apparently the problem why this wasn't ready yesterday, but now this is ready today. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means. I think they want to test it. It's whatever time. It's almost midnight in the UK. I think they want to test it to see if this fixes things and or causes bigger problems. And if it does, they're going to not push that out. Or maybe they've already just uploaded the file and they're waiting on Xbox and whoever to like process it. I'm not sure. I'm not in the building. Dudley, I think that's I don't say this often. I just think it's ignorant. They've done some motion capture, sure. I don't think that's in-house. I could be wrong. And then it's a database with some researchers. It has nothing to do with, say, like the UI. The UI is the UI. That doesn't have anything to do with women's football. Different set of people. But I'm trying not to have this devolve into a, let's blame the women. Everybody in this chat came from a mom, so I just think that's a bit of an odd take. Personally. But that's just me. I'm going to get into the game here. I'm just reading through the comments here. Oh, 22:30 in the UK? Oh, the time change. No. It's 5:30 here, so it's 20. Isn't it 23:30 in the UK? I'm like crazy. What time is it in London? Oh, it is. Our time fell back. The whole why can't don't get me started on time changes. Do you think we'll get the real patch this week? I think this is the real patch for the launch. I think this is the launch patch, and then they will test it, and then they'll push it out to everybody, and then they're going to keep working on it. They say that in this post. They say the next update for the beta track is already underway. Details to follow, and will include if your team spacebar, if your team going through messages with spacebar, it's in there. Okay, so I'm not team spacebar, but I understand if that's like your muscle memory and you've just been going boom, boom, boom with your thumb. I get it. I get it. Is the game still laggy? Not on the screens. I'll show that. Everybody hates time changes. See? We can agree on that. That's good. Yeah. That's good. All right, let me get back into, hold on, game, browser. So let's go through, I'm just going to review some things really quickly that the most important things for me is if you go to audio visual, one, you can't customize your attribute colors, but you can change them. You see these are changing. Lovely stuff. So that's customized. I think that's the wrong word. And you can remove, animate menus, reports, and cards. Oh, touchpad. I don't know what Sec 20 is. I'm assuming that's Swedish kroner, says the ignorant American. Thank you for that. And you can choose your transition speed to go default faster. So if you remove all the animations, the UI transitions, which I think were to hide how slow it was loading the data behind, which I think means that they've sped that up, it now looks like this. So if you go to Portal, see how quick that was? I literally clicked and I got an instant screen. Sorry for clapping next to the mic and blowing up your eardrums. But you click match day, that loads. You click recruitment, that loads. Squad, let's do squad again. 3, 2, 1, click. Squad still takes a little bit of time. That's because there's a lot of stuff on the screen here, right? Right? But these things are much faster. Now, you might ask, well, why did they wait until the patch to do that? It's probably because it only works on certain machines. So if you've got like an older laptop, maybe that's not as effective for you, right? So I'm pleased with that, to be honest with you, because my initial feedback on the UI is I think we'll get used to it, but you get a lot faster. You get used to it, I should say, a lot faster by making it as close to FM24's load speeds as possible. So if I click and there's no delay with transition, then that's good. That's good. So I think that's positive. So I think those are honestly in that patch. Oh, and they've also changed, what is it? I'm never gonna find it. The match speed. Is that match day? Or is that audio visual? There's now a 1.5x here. You can do 1.5x. They gave us originally a 1.25 and a 1.75, but not a 1.5, which I think is probably the right one. Let's find out, my friends. Let's go find out. So look at that. That screen loaded. My only backup goalkeeper is injured, so we're going to put the gray one on here. These clicks, this is the first time I played this since I got back, are much faster. They are much faster. So we are playing Lyon. I haven't done a name fix or a badge fix because I want to see what SI puts out before I start doing all sorts of... It's harder to give honest feedback if you're modding stuff, right? You can't choose your manager skills anymore. I'm unsure how it works if you go up and manager license a career if you get picked or not, but I expect not. What do you think of this? I hate the new manager thing. I think it's cool. The like, oh, you have like these you can pick 3 of these. You're attacking and strategist and whatever. I don't care. I don't care about the manager wrinkles, which is in the patch notes. I want to be able to say I'm managing Wolfsburg women. Give me what that should be. Give me the license that should be. Give me the background it should be. That screen that used to have where you could like take away all your goalkeeping attributes and give it to like adaptability because you're doing a journeyman save or something like that. I miss that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But okay, so let's go see what the match looks like. I've only selected 8 substitutes, so they still can't count. Cool. Cool. We have players out on international duty forever. Excellent. Excellent. I've not played a match on the patch, so let's see what the match on the patch looks like. Say match on the patch 5 times fast, yeah? Middle, you're getting used to the UI bugs, knowing where the bugs are helps slightly. Yep. Oh, I didn't look at the history. Yeah, we'll look at the history. Okay. Let's see. We're doing well. Yeah, it's only like Lyon in the Women's Champions League. It's not a big deal. The screens are so much faster. I don't know if you could tell that. Like I click and then boom, we're on the next screen. So that is probably the biggest part of the patch for me. Okay. Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I still don't like these, but I understand why this, like, this would be lowest priority, right? Thanks for subscribing, The Strategist. Any news of a release date for the PC version yet from Touchpad? Touchpad, sorry if I missed that. What do you mean? This is, I'm on a PC. Talk about the patch? Okay, that was fast. They play a 4-3-3. Now that's got the whole name, doesn't it? Interesting. Oh, he's saying this is a console version. Have you seen the reviews of the console version? People are saying this is a PC game. Like, I think this is neat. I'm not playing the music right now where you can hear it, but that's because I had match sounds turned off. Nobody here, of course. Is it raining? Oh, okay. Let's see here. Broadcast. Somebody had asked, please remind me if we go to substitute, if you could sub from here, because somebody asked about that a long time ago. Console's unplayable at the moment, Andrew. I'm sorry. That's what I don't understand. Why did we push the button to launch the game? And you would think consoles would be easier to develop for than PC. It's a set of hardware. Like it comes in a box. They're all the same, right? Like, oh, this is 1.5. Does this seem faster? That's not 1.5. Oh, we've scored. Or they've scored. That's not 1.5, is it? Was I on 1.25? Maybe I've been playing on 1.25. I don't remember. Okay. Patamoris, who's been outstanding. Indaman has been great. She likes to take on a person and dribble past. There you go. And then she's going to rifle it into the 15th row. We're on balance. We're away from home. Is there any change in the new update that requires us to create a new game save? Now, that's a good... I'm going to pause because that's a good question. I don't think so. They said in the announcement that they weren't going to have a launch day patch and that this patch was coming, that it would have very, 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 very minor database updates. We don't know what those database updates are. They didn't mention it. So, I'm not sure. Hold on just a second. Hey, Dudley, you're going in timeout for 10 minutes. Chill out. It's not for you. Cool. Don't be an rear end. All right. Ehrenstein gets dispossessed. I don't know. I feel like 1.25 is better. I feel like 1.5 is just rapid for me. But maybe some... Because when I played on FM24, I was like, ooh, there's another woodwork. I always played like 2 notches over from the middle. 2D match engine is probably the worst ever since 2001. I never played 2D. Why do you say that, Alexa? Ball in! Okay, we've cleared that. Yeah, this is too fast for me. So if you like 1.5, congrats. It's there. I know that was something people were complaining about. But not for me. I think 1.25 is the old 2 over from the middle for me. $1.35 is needed. Yeah, could we get like... Can I just get the ability to type in a number? 1.27. That's my favorite. Oh, that's a lovely ball in. Good tackle. Uh-oh, but top of the box. Oh, she's hit the post. Oh, we all just watched. Huth. I want to take a look at... Oh, she just... Oh, referee. Okay, referee. Referee saw it. 1.33333. Yes. Oh, can we get pi? Can I get the pi? The match stats is working. We've actually been in this game. Even on the possession. 9 shots to 6 for them. I do miss shouting. I know they're not going to bring it back anytime soon or ever, but we're just watching, right? Like there's not a whole lot to do. And I think the lack of the heat map and the pass maps also is like not great because it's so strange to have put in. Oh, how's she missed that? It's so strange to have like this incredibly new, nuanced tactical system and then give you, the player, no information on how to tweak that system. That is just weird. That is a weird decision for me. Like, I'm so happy with the tactical split, the in and out of possession. So happy. But not giving me the ability to like see how I could tweak in a match is just, it's like it's almost like you have to watch on full highlights to go, oh, we're being overrun on the right side. And I think that's what the 2D fast map is supposed to be showing you, but that's too fast for me. Has the patch actually improved the game? Paul, I think so. The UI is faster because of some of the changes. So we're in the game. We've actually had more shots. We just can't hit the target, which has been a problem. You've done nothing wrong, ladies. All right, if we sub, okay, I'm telling myself, if we sub, we're going to do it from down here because somebody asked about it. If you're enjoying this, hit the like button. Really helps the channel. She likes to... Oh, what? She has done that so many times in this save. It's unbelievable. I want to praise. I want to click praise. I want to do something on the sideline. I know you've coached a lot of games. You never felt like shouting. Different strokes. I think as a player of a video game, not being able to interact with your squad is an odd decision. But maybe at some point they'll bring it back. Didn't they say that they thought it didn't work as they intended? Oh, we're waking up now. Look at that XG. Come on, ladies. Okay. Oh, somebody left a comment on a video to Lineth Bieren or Bierenstein. That's maybe how you say it. She's not having a hot game. So this is what we're going to do. For science, I can substitute off. And I'm going to bring on Kessia Buse, who has been also really good. So somebody had asked, I don't know if you're still in the stream, can you sub from the screen like this? Yes, you can. I just made the one sub. That's fine. I think if we get out of here with a draw, I'm thrilled. Although, I think that's what the supporters wanted, if I remember. Highlight. Okay, bounce pass back. Levels. Plays it forward. Plays it forward. Okay, we're building. Oh. Held her off on the back. Enderman again. She's feeling feisty. She's going to do it again. Oh, she's missed. She puts it... What is the thing on the... What is... Oh, they did a sub. Interesting. What is that about? Okay. This camera angle, fantastic. Are there still bugs with subs and trainings? They had some stuff in the patch notes about subs and being fixed, but I don't know what the other problems are. Touchpad, yes. It feels like you're playing a game more versus managing a club. Yep. Part of that, I think, is the muscle memory thing that we talked about. But part of that is how they've designed it and how it's not deep. And the news that you're getting is not as effective. And even the things like they fixed today, like the showing on the season preview, the promoted teams or relegated. Obviously, I looked at the Premier League, so it only showed promoted teams. That they take that out, and that's a little bit of immersion taken away. It's stuff that you didn't know you were going to miss. Oh, near post. That was too easy. Does anybody do set pieces? I just leave them. I just say, just whatever. But maybe I should do more with them. All right, we need to go aggressive. More aggressive, I guess. We're going to go... Okay, can I cancel? Let's test this out. They're playing a 4-3-3. Mm-hmm. Oh, you can click on that. Could you do that before? I don't know. We're gonna go positive. She's not done hot coming in. She's been so good on set pieces though. I have to leave her in. You're not doing great. That seems to work. And there was a bug at one point where you couldn't swap these players around when you made 2 subs. Maybe it was 2 subs at the same time. Vedemeyer can come in, so now I'll test that for you. That's working still. Okay, she's feeling aggressive. Penalties, anyone? Penalties coming? Maybe. I think the keeper's having a mare of a game, to be fair. Does the team talk work? No, still broken. I think that's also immersion breaking, right? That like feeling like you're just playing rather than managing is like, it doesn't matter right now because they haven't patched it yet. It doesn't matter what I say to my team when they're coming on as subs. Like, that's just silly. Alexandra Pop moves, gets her body position there correct. Got 5 or 6 to beat. Oh, if she'd scored that, that'd been... Oh, it goes out for a quarter. We'll take that. People going full Arteta. And FM24, I just had my set piece coach take care of it, to be completely honest with you. I guess what I should have done, and I'm just going to tweak this just a little bit, and then I'm going to be done. I'm going to go... Oh, yep, you still can't click on these buttons. You have to click, like, up here, or, like, over here. But, like, on the text doesn't work. That's just silly. So we're going to go higher tempo. We're going to counterattack. This is inaccurate. I don't like this. If you come here, confirm changes. People said there's lots of long shots. I guess I meant to click attacking and I didn't. We've got 20 shots. 21. And we're down 2-1. I think the match engine's phenomenal. Tactics feel better and more reactive to changes. Enderman. Offside? What are we doing? I'm going to leave it on attacking. That worked. Let's go again. 23 shots, 9 on target. Plus 5. Okay, so we're exhausted. Sure. Violato has been good. Come on down. Do I have any... No, I don't have any right backs. I've had a slew of injuries. Sorry, ladies. Sorry, that's all we got for you. Let's stay aggressive. It's the Champions League. We want to see if we can get it here. I think a 2-2 draw away from home in the Champions League is good. We'll take that. 8.9. She has been unbelievable. Address the team. It said a bug about the table at the end. Let's look. We'll be successful to keep that up. They love that. Whoop. Okay. Interesting. Now we get this. I don't have a table. Maybe there was a bug here. I'm not sure. But this X shouldn't be here because it's confusing as a user. So that's what the new patch looks like. Have they fixed the tree? Can I see the tree from here? No. Let's go look at that. Oh, and then it automatically changes. Ah! Can I get to my competitions? Where are they? Oh my gosh. It's just memory, muscle memory. Competitions, there it is. Stages. Show me the tree. I just think this is ugly. The other tree was not broken. So. But if you notice, if you just joined here towards the, because I'm not going to be on for much longer. The squad screen is the one that's still probably got the most data, which is why it takes the longest to load. But if you click on the other things, it's a much faster experience, and that's because of removing animate menus, reports, and cards, and putting transition speed on faster. That has helped massively. Massively, I say. Just reading through the chat here. We can't save our preferred 11, right? I never did that in the game, to be completely honest with you. So let me... I don't see a save button. So I don't think they're aware of that. They're clearly reacting to the bug reports. I don't see that yet. There'll be a noticeable dip in performance if the player isn't natural or at least accomplished. Yep. That's how they should be if you're putting them in a position they shouldn't be in, right? Yep, there are still a few. It's not perfect, but it is a lot better, Gecko, on the speed. Can you compare two players that are not in the team? I don't think so. Let's go to my short list. Let's clear that, and we'll say Bunny Shaw. And oh, wait a minute. You can now, but only if they're on your short list, as far as I know. Just very quickly taking a look at that. You just turned it off. When did this patch drop? You mean turned it on? Turned what off? Astrophobia? It dropped about 3 o'clock Eastern. I don't know where you're at in the world. So yeah, you can compare if they're shortlisted. And this graph is still opposite of what it should be. Like the numbers are backwards. Like in terms of, like, this should be the blue player. Like, why is this gray and now this blue, and these are green and blue? So the 12 crossing, the number on the right is Bunny Shaw, and she should be green, but the number is blue, because if you're comparing a player on your squad, they're green here, like a dark green, and then this is blue. I just picked it. Yeah, sorry. Let's pick another one. Yeah, well, Trinity Rodman. There you go. So Trinity is the 14, right? And she's showing as blue. She would be here, because in the old FM24, this is green and this is blue. She's blue 14, but here she's green 14. So they've got some work to do. They got some work to do. I was worried about today's patch. If they had not done today's patch like they did, I think we were in trouble. The world is on fire. And they are if they just acted like it wasn't. So we'll take that. We'll take that. MK Analysis, thanks for subscribing. So yeah, if you're just getting on and you're like, I don't know how to get to the beta, there is a pinned chat. I'll talk you through it very quickly. You go to Steam, go to Library, right click on FM26, go to Properties, click on this betas thing that's on your screen, and then do the drop down to choose public beta - public beta. Click X, it will download a 2.6 gigabyte beta patch. But it is the reason they're doing it that way is they want us to test it before they push it out to everybody else, and then it breaks. So they want to test if it breaks and then push it out. Zhao Soze, yes, if you're on Game Pass, you have to wait for this because they want to make sure they don't break things further. It's only on Steam right now. But the performance is better. And again, if you're just joining us, let me get the notes up here. The things that they highlight are adjusting attribute colors, which is now you have 4 presets you can choose from. You can turn off or alter the speed of transitions, and a 1.5x match speed option. I think the 1.5x, just having looked at it, is a bit too fast, but I know a lot of people play faster. They say, Joe Soze, as soon as we get through platform submissions, the update will be rolled out to everyone thereafter. So, I don't know what that means. It has 300 fixes and quality of life improvements. So it's almost like help is coming. That's your takeaway from this. Help is coming. It's not here yet, but help is coming. If you are not on Steam and on PC. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Here to help, man. Or lady. Sorry, man is just a phrase I use. The next update on top of that, on the beta track, is already underway, and they're going to have details to follow. They haven't shared those details yet. Obviously, they were about a minute or two late on pushing this patch out from the original window that they said they were going to have, so it makes sense that they wouldn't have committed to anything on you know, the one after this. They wanted to get this one out the door, and it was a rush to get it out the door. And now we're gonna see how this lands. But again, you can set your penalty takers and see the set piece attributes now. You know, that is game breaking if you're like, I'm just gonna randomly pick people, right? I hadn't run into that because I hadn't gotten into any penalty situations. So if you look through this, and let's do this. I haven't done this in the entire chat. Let me drop it into the chat. That is the full list of the patch that I just dropped in the chat. So, it's better. People have asked earlier, would you recommend starting a long-term save? And like, that is so hard to do right now. I don't know. I would recommend, if you are playing, that you save before and after every match, and you set it to weekly saves on top of that. So like, if you forget, it'll automatically do it. Can you now see only your under 21 or under 18 staff? What do you mean, Bandak? I will be glad to go take a look at that, so we can confirm or deny that live. They did say that this carousel is fixed. Like, it now shows the correct ones. Maybe that's what you mean. However, I will note that it says club staff, and it says club staff, and it says club staff. So you just kind of have to assume this is your youngest and your middle squad. Whoop! Oh, see, and then you click outside the button, and this is your senior squad. Astrophobia, they've said that it will work on an ongoing save. The announcement yesterday said that the patch for today, so yesterday's announcement about the thing we're looking at right now, said it would have very, very, very minor database updates. So I don't know if that's like, 8 players have terminated their contracts somewhere in the world and they've updated that. I don't know. So previously you'd have to check all staff to find. So is that what, does this fix that? I guess is my question for you there, Bendak. It's under staff here. So if I go look here, it's going to take me straight to, again, there's no indication what staff this is. I'm not saying it's perfect, but if you go back and can I click back? Does that work? If you go back and assume, oh my gosh, see, if you click that, this is senior, this is your oldest of your youth squads, and this is the younger of your youth squads, then you can kind of figure out where things are at. Again, not perfect, but at least it's showing it. Yeah. So that's a positive. That's a step in the right direction. All of this is a step in the right direction, right? It's not perfect. The managerial vacancies, I had not looked at this before. Why is the screen, why is it 50% of the screen? Why? But I'm not trying to poke fun of it, but like just this, clicking between these screens, aside from squad, which is it takes a little bit, same thing first team. That's because there's a lot of data here. These are still kind of slow. But the training button, you set up, that's pretty quick. You can say, I hate that I have to click 3 times to get to the screen. I wouldn't blame you. But at least it's fast now, right? Not being able to see my youth staff properly is doing my head in. Yeah. And it's immersion breaking, right? We talked about that, DS. If you just joined, it's immersion breaking. If you go, what, I can't even, whatever, I just give up. And you just delegate a bunch of stuff. So like, they're making progress. They're making progress. Tom Harris, thanks for subscribing. So I guess for those of you that have been here long enough to see going through this patch list here and testing some of the things out, how do you feel right now? How do you feel right now, having seen, obviously this is not a full list of 300 things they fixed. That means they fixed other things and not told us. How do you feel about the game today? Yes, and they fixed the wrinkle slider for those of you that are so passionate about the wrinkles of your manager and the accessories and the colors. I'm waiting for chat to catch up. Like, does this give you hope, I guess? I feel like it's going to be good, playable in a few weeks. We're almost there. I'd say it's playable now. It just depends on what playable means to you, right? It's not going to feel like FM24, I think, for a while. Personally. Dan, been playing while the stream has been going on. It's so much better to play now. Still bugs and missing features, but it's improving fast. Good. Glad you feel that way. I know it's if they showed you more frequently your manager, I would care more. But like if you're gonna reduce the manager photo to something that's like this big, like on the screen, whoop, there it is. It's like that big. Like on my stream, the equivalent is like this big. I mean, I guess they showed a little bit at the intro of some matches, but I just think, yeah. But it's probably an easy fix. It's like, oh, we forgot to click activate on that or something. DS, yes, I will show you. Happy to do that. Did they fix the UI response? Here's how you fix it. You go to preferences, go to detailed, go to audio visual. You remove animate menus, animate reports, animate cards, and you put transition speed on faster. I actually don't know if the transition speed is necessary, but I did it because it was on default. Now it's on faster. Okay. And now when I click on a lot of screens, it feels more FM24E. Meaning like, oh, I clicked and it opened and it's there and I didn't have to think about it. And it's just there. The only one that is still slow is squad. Anything on squad. I can understand at this point in the game's development, that's because there is an enormous amount of data here, and they are struggling. I said this in the very first video last Monday, not this past Monday, the one before that. This proves to me SI are massively struggling with Unity. It's clear, but they've made some enhancements. Or maybe they're being really cautious about, like, you click this, it instantly loads, but none of the data is there, and then it loads the data. So they slowed it down on purpose. And now that they've seen that that's not going to happen on most machines, they're willing to give you that. But it's a lot more snappy. Like clicking on messages even. Like you see that? New messages. I mean, 1, 2, 3, click. 1, 2, 3, click. 1, 2, 3, click. It's snappy. It's snappy. If I'd see the managers throwing a fit during replays, I'd love the feature. I can barely see them. Exactly, that's my point. Like, again, I'm not faulting. There are people, like, it's very important how you look. I understand that. Like, but if you're not going to use it in the game, then why do I have to spend so much time? I just, like, it's on the whatever, the home screen, your loading screen. You first start that start screen is what they call it. Okay, yay. But, like, give me something. Maybe they will in FM27 or 28. Dan, it moves faster in a match too. Like, yeah, those screens, yeah, all of that's faster. So props to them. Like a lot of this has been like, I don't care about this, or like, I had a little bit of a rant in the middle. If you didn't see that, I had a little bit of rant in the middle, because I don't like their communication style. But at least we're getting some fixes, right? Yes, you're welcome. Not a problem. Alexander, new watcher, thank you for your honest videos. Need more of this FM community. I'd love to know a little bit about why you think other people aren't being honest. I think they just didn't have as much time to get, like, my frustration level with the game started relatively low. Or sorry. My opinion of the game started pretty high, and then as I got further into it, went down. Stuff like, I can't see my use staff. Stuff like the screens load slow. All the friction that I talked about in that first video. So I think it's unfair to say, oh, you know, all the big content creators, they're getting paid by SI and they're evil. I think they just hadn't had enough time and they were excited about a new shiny game. I was excited. And then it's like, oh, now I've gotten those 20 or 30 or 40 hours in that Miles asked me to get, and it's worse. Dale, I don't think they're struggling with Unity. Unity is just C# and most people in game dev have worked with it before. It's just been a rush to get it out and it shows. Maybe, but I don't know what FM24 was built in. It's a completely different game, right? So either way, they've struggled with something, right? Bankai because people hate change, but also because it was slow. I think today's patch does a lot to fix that. Because it's no longer massively slow. OLED plays, in my opinion, won't shock. I think the game is in much better shape than it was and will get better from here. Yep. Steve, the game is now current ability 90, potential ability 160. I would say we're probably, I'd have to think. I think in that first video I said it was like a 2 gray star or a 3 gray star versus a 2 gray star with a 3 star, 3 yellow, gold, whatever star potential ability. I would move that rating up. It's Dave's World. Thanks for subscribing. Samuel, the game is faster if you change the settings. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go back after the stream. It's about 5 minutes ago in the stream. I just went over it again. I go over it several times. But it is smoother. So it's 300 plus fixes is massive for this patch. I think Miles mentioned in the interview with Work with the Space that SI wants to update constantly until the next release. He mentioned content updates, things like adding back international management, and he had minor updates, which are patches for stuff being broken. I think they could do a better job telling us how often that's going to happen. They probably don't know, but at least an idea of a plan, communicating the plan. Like, hey, every Wednesday's patch day, or every Tuesday and every Friday is patch day. Or probably not Friday, because you don't want to do that going into a weekend usually. Because if it like suddenly breaks stuff, then you're working all weekend. But like, make every Wednesday patch day. Just announce that. We're going to fix everything 1 week at a time. Okay, now I know what to expect. It's the expectation setting that we're not getting. Is it worth buying? It depends on how you feel about stuff. I'm not trying to dodge the question. At this current state, with this patch, which is on a beta, it's not like automatically downloaded from Steam. You have to make it downloaded from Steam. Feels a lot better. I can see myself going, okay. But I don't know if they're going to fix other stuff that would then need a new save. I will be very irritated if I start a long save and then it requires you to like restart a save. Hiram, I have checked not everyone, a bunch of the major ones. And I'm not going to be streaming that much longer. Sorry to bring it to you, but you can go back and watch the stream. The things they said they fixed. From my experience. Now, we didn't run into any penalties, but they fixed that you can see your penalty attributes now when you go to select your penalty takers, which is important. You think it's not worth full price? I think that's fair. They clearly still have work to do. If you want to get 17% off, you can use the link in the description. That helps out the channel. Then you're not paying full price. The game works logically, but the flow is terrible. Optimization is bad. I think the optimization has gotten better today. With like, again, if I just click through these messages load rapidly now. Recruitment screen, you're there. Match date, you're pretty there. Club, you're there. Career, you're there. Click relationships, the screens. I'm just clicking randomly. Obviously, I'm not processing any of this information, but like the only tab that is slow is squad, and that's because all of the squad is a lot of data. I'm not a developer. I don't know why that is, but that's the only one I've found. Like clicking on these, it's a lot faster. It is a lot faster. And I think the friction that I talked about in Beautiful But Broken, the video that for my channel size went viral, talked about that friction. They have reduced that friction significantly, and that is a massive thing today. Good marketing skills. Yeah, you know you do what you can. Do what you can. I'm trying to build a channel here, right? I'm unemployed, folks. I got laid off. Let's go. Thanks for subscribing and liking. We're trying to make a go at this content creation thing. 155 likes. Thanks for that. Any other questions I can try and answer for you besides like showing all the stuff? How's the scouting? Be more specific. They did say, let me pull up the patch notes. They did say they fixed something in scouting. Manually scouting a player will now correctly delegate an appropriate scout. The scouting finish message headline will now display the name of the player. So I don't know what you mean, Bandek. I know there's a delay from you typing that and me seeing it and then me responding. Thanks for liking it, Mufasa Fit. Mufasa Fit? Sorry, it's purple on my screen. It's hard to read on a black background with purple text. And with the new patch, our training presets are now working. Okay, good to know. I genuinely, and this is indicative of what the state of the game was, and this is why I was pretty frustrated with it, but like trying to give it a chance, is I just delegated training. I just went, I don't understand what's happening. So your training presets are working. Yeah, there was a lot of notes in there about the training, right? And like individual training. So like if I go, which I haven't done, I usually do that all the time. I go to Sophia here. Okay. Training. Shouldn't I be able to... Somebody help. Why can't I do this? I'm going to wait for the chat. Why can't I change her positional training? I'm at the... She's on holiday? Did I pick the one lady on holiday? No, she's not. Training. Well, I don't know how to do it. Help! Help, anybody! You meant the in-game setup of assignments and national team scouting, basically trying to find the next... I haven't tried that. Is there a way to amend under 21 and 18 training? I feel like I'm going insane because you can take responsibility for it, but you can't find where or how to do it. Ooh. Again, responsibilities, I said, is supposed to be easier to find. I guess it's now they've added it here. I don't know if it was always there. And I go to training. And I say, see, I've just delegated it. Mike Knight, hashtag Night on the Beat. Thanks for subscribing. Oh, is it because I'm you're saying I completely delegated it, so I can't change anything? Interesting. Okay. Take control. Confirm. Let's go back. Nope. Nope. I don't know. Maybe it's because we're still like in a match. Like it still thinks we're in a match. I don't want to have training. I'm going to go back and give that back. Let's go here. Okay. And hit. Oh, wait. I do. Oh, I would give a lot to have. Your next game is in 3 days. That is so valuable for like understanding. I understand people said it's here. I want it on all the screens. I don't want it here. I want it on all the screens up here. There's so much space up here. So it's in 3 days. So I'm going to actually go to my squad. And I'm going to, because we don't have any left backs or right backs that are healthy besides the ones that we got. And I'm going to rest them for a day. When did she get injured? Sprained knee ligaments. She was fought. Okay. Fantastic. And then just drop her, I guess. Say it's moving faster. Use the training style on the player. We're going to figure this out. Okay, I'm going to go back. People said you put it. I did put it back because... And you hit confirm. I just want first team. We're not going to look at the under 18. I hit confirm. It's mine. It's mine. Mine. Anybody? That's worth a like if you haven't liked, clearly. I'm going to go to the player. Training. Okay, so now I can get to it. Let's go back. If I go here, maybe I did it wrong. Maybe Heretic, M4 Heretic, you were right. Maybe I'm just blind. Okay. So now you can do all that from here, or as you noted, go here. Like literally, this is why I don't know anything about it. I haven't done it in the game. I just haven't. I just went delegate, fine. So, there was a question. I'm going to try and find it about something about under 18 training. Okay, no name. Is there a way to amend under 21, under 18? Amend. I feel like I'm going so you take responsibility, but you can't find how to do it. Okay, this is gonna be the last thing I think that we test here. Let me check. Let's go under 18. I'm gonna. Do you mean the entire team? No name. If you're still in the chat, I'm gonna do both, and I'm gonna delegate this back. Okay, so now let's go to my under 18s. Or no, maybe go training. This is first team training. Training? Nope. Okay, let's go to under 18s. No. This is where you go, this guy doesn't know this game. Yep, because I delegated training. Training is its own pop-up. You'd think that if this is first team, you could like slide over. I don't know. I don't see a way to get to. This just takes you to the calendar. Team training schedules I can't find. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. But you're saying you could do, like, if I go to pick a player, right? Training. Yeah, you can still do the individual training. That's, I don't know if that's actually, you have to go to squad. I'm in squad. It says first team. Calendar, first team, first team. Why? Why? Training tile, wheels click, third wheel, under 18. Training tile. Let's do. I'm listening to you, Bandak. Training tile. Wheel click. Wheel click. Third wheel for under 18. Like middle mouse? I'm blind. This is great content. Oh, here? Oh. Ooh. Okay. That's how you get everybody in the chat. For 194 people are watching. Say, great job, Bandak. BANDAQ. I mean, that's a. You have enhanced the quality of the stream with that. Seriously. Now, can I change it? This just takes you to the calendar. What are we doing? What are we doing? That's how you get to it. Can you change it? Why does this... This is my first team calendar. What are we doing? Bandak, what are we doing? Save me. I can go to the individual trading. Now this is my under 18s. You still can't change. Oh yeah, you can't change it. Bandak with some critical information. He would just want to see how long he could string us out here. You gave me hope. No name, it was hope through Bandak. All right, we got to ban Bandak then, I guess. Sorry, Bandak. It's been good. No, I'm just kidding. But at least you can see the individual. I'm gonna go back and change it in now because I'm gonna forget and be like, why are you asking me these things? Okay. Matt Wadsworth, thanks for subscribing. Face purple crying. But I hope this has been helpful in showing you, it is faster. They still got a couple things where like this will hang open sometimes when you go look at like multiple menus. Not all the time, of course, not definitely not when I'm talking about it. But that change is faster. You get a 1.5x. That's faster. Yeah, I don't think they've intentionally made it frustrating, Bandak. I think they've made it and they've just had to make some tough choices and say, we'll just leave it broken. We'll leave that broken and that broken and that broken and that broken, and then we'll fix it eventually because we're being forced to push this out for money. Which, again, when you run a business, decisions have to be made sometimes. We can not like it as consumers, but at least today's patch is a huge step in the right direction. That is the thing that I will leave you with today. And I will leave you that way, this way. And I will get rid of all this. Today's patch has 300 plus fixes in it. The critical ones, I think, are the speed and the UI. Obviously, crashes. Like, they're not going to list out, we fixed this thing on Mac and this thing on over there. You know, like, whatever. So, clearly, they've got to fix crashes. The fact that the UI feels a lot smoother, less friction when I'm clicking the button, I just did it without you being able to see it, is a huge, huge step in the right direction. Because that friction is what's lowering your ability to get sucked into the game. Because it's already changed and it feels bad and it hurts. And now when you at least you go to the screen, it loads and you're not waiting, you know? So I can disagree with their communication strategy. I want nothing but the best for SI. I think they should hire some comms people and have a different strategy, but publicly traded company or whatever. But at least the game, assuming you're not dealing with crashes, if you are, you should report the bugs. Because the other thing with the bugs, they have put a lot of the UI bugs that were reported into a new section of the forum called alpha bugs. And now there's a new section for not alpha bugs, which I think is a way of saying, hey, the bug reports you put in were from the alpha, and this is actually the beta, but that's beside the point. So if you are experiencing bugs now on this Steam downloaded patch of a official public beta branch of the development, you should report it. Help out with the game. Thanks so much for watching. Hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're new. I'm going to go have dinner. It's date night at my house tonight. And I'm not playing FM26's date night. So I'm sure that's a shock to some of you. I appreciate you watching. I will be back. Tomorrow, I won't have a video on the channel. I'm going to go record some stuff. And then we're going to get launched with some actual series. So I've got some series coming up. I'll talk about that in an upcoming video, probably on Friday, because I was waiting for this patch. I was waiting for things to get better and get fixed before I kind of committed. So I might be different than you, because as a content creator, I need to kind of like start doing stuff, right? It's like, this is when everybody's watching the game. So I can't personally recommend you do your own long-term save, but I think we're in a right position here, right? Where you make sure you got weekly saves on, and make sure that you save before and after every game or before and after every transfer. You know, like things where you go like, gosh, if this breaks right now, I'm going to be really mad. I would recommend that personally. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.